Hi everybody, it's me, Rogue Assassin here, and I'll be bringing you episode 2 of What If Naruto Had Hollow Knight. Well, the nice sword that you see here that looks like Ichigo's Zanbakuto, well, that's what Naruto's samurai blade kind of is gonna be like. The blade is kind of like the length of a samurai blade for a 13-year-old, or I don't know how old Naruto was. Yeah, 13-year-old. It's basically it's basically the size that a 13-year-old can hold, as it will get bigger. Like the older Naruto gets, the longer the sword will get. But until Naruto reaches his prime, the sword won't be as long as it's supposed to be. As we actually we this is not yeah actually we go back to where we stopped, where Naruto has convinced Zabuza and Haku that they can come back to the village, and they reluctantly agreed that they will come back to the village, as Naruto still hasn't realized that Haku is a girl, not a boy. Everyone thinks she's a boy, but they're going to be mistaken afterwards. As Naruto as we have a time skip here, we make our way, time skip to the Hokage's office. Zabuza and Haku are also there, as Kakashi Sensei and Naruto is giving the report. Kakashi Sensei is briefing the report on the basically giving the report to the Hokage, as the Hokage is basically agreeing to Zabuza and Haku's stay in the village. As we time skip here to when Naruto is making his way to a training ground, just to train on ability that Ghost told him about a few hours ago. Ghost told him, or explained to him, that he can manifest weapons. Well, weapons that is basically that Ghost and them have, like this one here, and two other weapons that he's not gonna tell Naruto about. He'll keep it a secret for now, and we're going to as find we basically time skip to when Naruto is in Team Torinaga 7, as we see Naruto is basically Naruto has manifested his sword that I had on screen a few minutes ago. He manifested his sword, and now is training with Ghost into how to use it properly. What's the correct stances? Like basically Kenjutsu. Ghost is teaching Naruto with his sword. As Naruto finally like with all the stamina Naruto has, he's finally tired, as Ghost barely broke a sweat. Ghost was just dodging Naruto, and he wasn't even sparing Naruto's abilities. He was just dodging because Naruto was bad at using a sword, but he'll get better. He'll get better slowly, as Naruto like finally gives in, as Ghost like basically the training's over and it's getting quite dark. Naruto, like, it's so dark, Naruto doesn't even have time to go to eat like Ichiraku for some ramen. As Naruto makes his way home, as we see Naruto walking to his apartment, we see him walking past another apartment. Naruto has a neighbor. Well, Naruto doesn't know who his new neighbor is, because because take like Naruto like knows there's somebody like next door to him, and opposite that person is another person. Basically, Naruto has two neighbors that he doesn't even know about. As Naruto doesn't mind this as he walks to his apartment, opening the door as Naruto goes to sleep, basically, lying on his bed. Yeah, time skip here to the next morning as we Naruto hears a knock on his door. Naruto's like, who's knocking this early in the morning? As Naruto opens the door, as we see Haku at the front door. As as Haku was just coming to say good morning to Naruto because Naruto is her neighbor, and yeah, Naruto is her neighbor, and she was actually up very early exploring the village. And she bumped into Kakashi Sensei, and Kakashi Sensei knows that Haku is Naruto's neighbor, so Kakashi told Haku to call Naruto that Team 7 has a meeting at the same place in canon where Kakashi told Naruto and his team that they have the tuning exams. As we see Naruto like like angrily just put on his clothes and walks out, still tired and all, as Naruto makes his way down to Ichiraku Ramen. I hope I'm saying that right, and I hope I'm not butchering that name. I probably am. Leave comments down below if I am. But continuing on, as Naruto is basically having his full of ramen, as Naruto basically is finally done after his 11th bowl, no, 13th bowl, as Naruto makes his way down to the meeting place because he knows Kakashi Sensei is going to be late somehow, as Sasuke and Sakura were waiting for Kakashi and Naruto, and Naruto basically knew in his mind, felt in his mind that Kakashi Sensei is going to be late, as Kakashi Sensei finally, like, after like 1 minute of waiting for Naruto, Kakashi Sensei shows up. As we continue as in canon, where Kakashi tells Naruto the about the Chunin exams and everyone should train for it and should get prepared, as basically it's canon, but we're gonna have a time skip here, like after a few like days of training, we're gonna have a time skip here where the Naruto is talking to the third Hokage's grandson. I don't know his name. Gosh, hold up, give me a minute here. Okay, you know what? Just comment down below what the child's name is. The third Hokage's grandson. I can't remember his name now for the life of me. I mean, he was such a minor character in Naruto, and I cannot remember but his name. But basically, basically he's basically talking with Naruto and Sakura and Sakura asks how can you play ninja when you're a ninja, as basically Naruto says it's kind of fun, and he gives exclamations. You learn trap making, kunais, yada yada, that kind of thing, as basically uh, the third Hokage's grandson, I'm just gonna call him that now. Yeah, he insults Sakura's breast that's like a cutting board, as Sakura gets this purple aura around her, as she's angry, as Naruto turns to him and says, run, as he's running for his life while Sakura is chasing behind him, as Naruto is walking slowly to the both of them, as the third Hokage's grandson bumps into one of the red sand guineas, and he bumps into Kanko, the puppet user, the one with the purple paint on his face. Yeah, he bumps into them. He bumps into him as Kanku does the same kind of thing where he says he's going to teach them a lesson, this brat a lesson, as Tamari is still trying to basically talk to his brother, like just put the kid down unless you want to get in trouble, whatever. As we see Sakura is scared of the three in front of her. She is still useless as ever as we continue as finally arrives Naruto finally arrives and tells Kankuro to put him down as Kankuro is basically canon style basically saying I'm just teaching this brat a lesson as Sasuke throws a rock at Kankuro's hand, basically dropping the third Hokage's grandson. As canon style Sasuke tells Kankuro and her sister his sister Tamari, that they're not even supposed to be yada yada yada. As basically they are having a stare down with Naruto is in the back like glad I'm not part of this. As Gava is in the aperture as Sasuke finally says that you better cool off. I don't think your teammate is happy with you the way you're acting right now. As Kankuro turns around fearfully as Gara in his head is saying is basically looking at Sasuke and saying his skill. Mother will have your blood, Uchiha. As Gara is still in the tree with his still blank face as he says, Kankuro, stop acting like a child. As basically that entire scene happens in canon. But now now Gara has a target. Now Gara is basically targeting Sasuke now. Sasuke has Gara targeting his back at all times now. And Gara can't wait to basically the same canon style kill kill the Uchiha. As Naruto can see the way that Gara looks at Sasuke, that murderous, malicious intent, as Naruto is basically in his head, lucky that's not me. Now that I have known now that lucky that's not me, but it's unlucky that that's one of my teammates that have that target on their back. And just side note, guys, Naruto is not scared or anything. He just wanna last. He wants to take the long game. Naruto side note, guys. Naruto, he he's not scared of Gaara. He just wants to play the long game. The less targets on their back, the more easier the tuning exams will become. As that's what Naruto's thinking. So, as Naruto is just watching the scene between Gaara and Sasuke, they finally break up as Gaara finally leaves, as Naruto is basically saying, phew, ugh, lucky it didn't escalate, otherwise I would have to jump in. As Team 7 also walks the other way from Gaara's team, as they bump into another scene that's happening. Now, another side note, guys, this tuning exams will be way different because we won't just be having the Leaf Village, Sand Village, Rain Village, and Hidden Sound Village competing in this. We'll have all five nations is actually going to be here. So the five Kage is going to be in the village with their tuning, basically wandering around the village. So that's just one of the villages that the Team 7 has just met, as they all sense a malicious intent coming from, you can say, coming from near the marketplace, basically. As Team 7 and Gara's team makes it that way, basically, in this one, I'm going to say that a lot of the Jinchurikis from other nations are here, as we see this very odd scene where a bunch of different teams from different villages meets up at once just by coincidence. As Okay, side note, people, some of the people that's on this list here will be competing in the tuning exams, but there will be only two that won't be. I am actually making, actually no, there are three people won't be competing. So, the one tails, or Gara, will be in the tuning exams, two tails will also be in the tuning exams, three tails. I'm calling them by their Jinchuriki names because I do not know all of their names. So Gava, two tails, three tails, six tails, five tails, and nine tails will be competing in the tuning exams, where the four tails, five tails, and eight tails will be both leaders. Basically, they have their own getting. They have their own getting, like their sensei. Basically, they're controlling their own getting squad. As B is the sensei of, or Jonin sensei of the Two Tails, which is also going to be competing. These two four are just going to have random people, like like tuning in, and yeah, basically each one will be from their own village. I am not sure whether seven tails, six tails, or three tails villages are, but I'm just gonna say the six tails and three tails are from the same village, and I'm gonna give them the hidden wave village, basically. Yeah, no, or I could just, yeah, I'll make the six tails from the hidden rain, and the hidden mist can be from the three tails. Basically, that's it. As Naruto is the only, as from 1 to all 9 Jinchuriki, just by coincidence, meets all at once, as everybody can feel each other's. Like everyone can feel that the 9 people standing here now are all Jinchuriki. As B just does a funky rap from 1 to 9, that all 9 has reunited in this very odd spot, as Kakashi Sensei finally meets up with their team and is wondering what's going on, as Naruto knows what's going on. Naruto knows about the nine tails sealed inside of him, and he's also hearing from the three that's also sealed inside of him as well. Ghost and the other three, Ghost and his sister and brother, that they are saying that each one of the people standing there now has their own Biju from 1 straight to 9, as as all all 9 Jinchuriki in each of these 9 people are thinking at once. I don't know if it's coincidence or fate, but all 9 of us has just met up in one random spot, just by it, just in like at just coincidence, as each one of the 9 holders of Jinchurikis are staring down at the other holder, basically. And Kakashi Sensei still doesn't know what's going on until Kakashi basically goes up close to Naruto and asks what's going on, as Naruto explains, well, don't you see, as Naruto tells Kakashi basically ask Kakashi, don't you see? It's nine Biju in one. It's nine Biju in one place. As Kakashi finally actually realized what's going on and why there's so much intent bloodlust here. It's basically all nine Biju in one area. As Kakashi's also thinking in his head, like, is this fate or something else? Because it's very rare to find all nine Biju in one spot just by coincidence, as each one of them are staring down at each other, as no one's basically like taking note of Naruto because of his second monster that is sealed inside of him. It's basically suppressing the Nine Tails power to the point where none of the Bijus actually realize. As Killer Bee starts rapping about there are 8 Bijus here, as Naruto corrects him. As Naruto says, actually, correction, there are 9. As everyone looks at Naruto as basically, and this has been said indiscreet because there are other people here. So basically, Killer Bee is rapping about there are 8 members of the 8 squads of 8 tails here, as Naruto remix like corrects Killer Bee. Actually, there are 9, as basically they can't sense Kurama, but they can't sense Kurama. So as Killer Bee, as actually the eye tells, like, is basically telling B that he can't sense Kuruma there, but he can tell that there is something sealed within him. It's probably a suppression thing. As Killer Bee is like, if you're number 9, then prove it. Basically rap like that. He's basically rapping like that. As Naruto's like basically looking around and he's like, sure. I don't know how, as he says in his head, I don't know how I can prove that I'm basically the Nine Tails, because I don't think they will believe me. But I might as well introduce, well, I might as well introduce you as, that's horrible. Actually guys, sorry guys, I'm stuttering a lot. I don't actually know if Naruto would introduce that he was number 9, that he's basically the Nine Tails. But basically, Killer Bee says there are 8 of us here and we're all united. Once more, he's rapping about like they are like he's rapping indiscreetly, trying to get through that there are 8 Bijus like to the other Bijus, like basically the other holders. All Killer Bee knows is that there are 8 of them here. They don't know that Naruto is a Biju because they can't sense it. They can't sense his Biju. They can't sense Kuruma. As everyone's thinking in his head, like everyone's thinking in their head, if 8 of us are here and we all come from different villages, then the Leaf Village must have Kuruma. But which one of the Genin members have the Nine Tails? As Naruto is still standing there quiet, as he's like, basically they're all thinking this in their head, as Naruto is basically hoping that they don't discover that he's the Nine Tails. As basically they all start dispersing, like after a bit of like stare down bloodless, they all start dispersing slowly. As basically Naruto in his head is basically thanking him that none of them actually noticed that he was the Nine Tails all along, and he's just been suppressing the Nine Tails the whole time. As he walks like off with Team 7. As why is Naruto like basically hiding his Biju? Because number one, it just like if he tells everyone that he is number 9, it just grants a bigger target on his head. Basically, he's not trying to hang his team up for immediate takeout. That's what he means. As Naruto is thinking, I better train some more before the student exams come up, as we're going to have a time skip here before the tuning. And before I get into the tuning exams, Naruto's abilities. Naruto is gonna have, this is Naruto's like flash step. This is what it looks like, and this is Naruto's revengeful spirit. It's basically a bullet missile. As this is Naruto. Ah, gosh, I hate this. This is Naruto's. This is what it like. It looks like when Naruto swings. It has this white, like basically a white attack. Like think of the Getsuga that Ichigo can do. He can do that, but he can like he can actually like say when he wants to, like he can like just think of the like long range attack, which is this thing. It's a long range attack, and it will come out. Or if he doesn't want to come out, he can just swing into a normal swing, and it will still look like that. But the attack won't. The long range attack won't come out. That's Naruto's samurai sword. That's how it looks like. This is Naruto's Kinju, what it looks like. This is Naruto's like shadow form, basically. He turns into this when he flash steps or when he does like an ultimate move using like dark aura or void matter or void energy to be more specific. This is what happens when Naruto screams. This stuff like starts like explodes out. Naruto's flash step again. Naruto is muscle, and that's it. So Naruto has learned how to control these and summon them on command, and he's also learned how to use his blade, and he can do the like kind of getting up head go, like I showed you before. As you can also, yeah, as we are going to skip to the tuning exams now. As Naruto is basically in the like basically taking the tuning exam. First it's the written portion. Naruto does the same on the written portion. It's basically canon style. Canon style, canon things happen until the voice of death. And the voice of death is going to be a bit different on this one, because this time Naruto is literally going to tell his team, we gotta get inside the forest and get outside as fast as possible. And Sasuke kind of agrees with that. It's like the faster we are in and the faster we are out, the more like the more like the easier this test will become. As no, as like while they are basically planning, same thing in canon where she throws the kunai and everything happens same in canon. But instead of Naruto getting scared and freaked out when I think it was Anko, I could get that name wrong. I think I got that name wrong. When Anko threw the kunai, cut Naruto's chick and she licked it, basically that like happened like in a second while Naruto was discussing the plan, as Naruto wasn't actually freaked out by that. He was just like, okay. He just looked at her in confusion, like, and I'm supposed to be scared of that. Why? Like Naruto is just ignoring the bloodlust. Like the is like, and I'm supposed to be scared of that. Why? And basically, she basically tells Naruto not to speak when she's speaking and to listen intently, yada yada yada. Everything happens in canon. Uh, Basically, Anko takes a liking to Naruto in a way, because Naruto is kind of bold. Like he does not care. Like, am I supposed to be scared of you? Why? Basically, and he says that out loud. I'm supposed to be scared of you. Why? As Anko like took a liking to Naruto. As we continue down, I hope I'm getting that right. I hope I got her name right. If I don't, just drop a comment down below her real name and I'll correct that in the video. In the next video, as we continue on to the tuning exams. As the Forest of Death, basically, it doesn't go that canon. Like, it goes but in canon, but not that canon where, like, instead of Orochimaru is not basically gonna attack Sasuke in the forest. because they're gonna be fast in and fast out. So they're gonna know immediately who their target team is because they can kind of see what scroll they got like Naruto, like Sasuke got a slight glimpse of. They got the heaven scroll and another team like had the earth scroll. So basically they went after that team immediately and they immediately left. Gara's team obviously time skip. Gara's team was the first team there. Naruto came like a few hours after Gara's team, as they open the scrolls as in usual. Kakashi pops up and Kakashi's surprised that Naruto's team even made it this fast. Like, was that quick? Like Kakashi thought, like honestly, like Kakashi thought that Naruto, like Team 7 was gonna take a bit longer than that. But Team 7 was like, no, we're going full force, we're gonna get in and we're gonna get out. Like the less time we spend in the forest, the more time we have to like do slight training, basically. As they are in the basically they are resting for gonna rest for 5 days as Naruto is exploring basically he's exploring with these basically three other people like his three you can say like now family his one little brother, other big brother, and sister is with Naruto. Like they all sealed, like in the seal, as they are watching through Naruto's eyes while he explores the tree. As Naruto is basically like just wandering around the tree, as he finally he 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 like sees more team members coming and he's like watching them as they come in like slowly like keeping an eye out or resting as I don't know what to add here so I'm just gonna have a time skip as we time skip to the battle basically as I'm gonna stop it here because I need to create some matches and the rounds so bye for now okay. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a like and also hit the notification bell if you liked what you heard. Yeah. Bye.